back to the channel. So, Chinese researchers announced 711 watt-hour per kilo lithium battery in the lab. So, there's no factory for this. Probably won't never see it again. So, there was some fake news on some other channel about this. So, basically, what they're doing is the anode, which is the bit that has the graphite in there. So, normally the lithium will get stuck on the anode in the first cycles. So, it looks like they're coating with ultra-thin layer of metal lithium. So then it can't react with the other lithium gets put in there, giving it more lithium to go back and forth. So interesting enough, that's them out here. Very high energy density. Cycle life. They don't talk about this because probably, guess what? Doesn't have very good cycle life. So Jeff Dahn, if you don't know, is advisor for Tesla and Novonix. These are his batteries here, 811. So another video on Jeff Dahn. He goes through all the batteries, LFP. Some people think LFP has more cycle life than MC. Well, Jeff Dahn, who studies it in the lab, thinks this is not the case. So basically what they do, they heat it up. The bad reactions, to find the bad reaction, so lithium is just going back and forth in the battery. Lithium has a bad reaction, some get stuck, so that lithium is not going back and forth. And over time, more lithium gets stuck, so less lithium can go back and forth. That's really dumbing it down. So what he does to find out which works best, he heats it up like to 80 degrees and finds out pretty fast, and then he measures it to like a really small decimal point, see how much lithium is going back and forth, and this is what he came up with. So the Century battery NMC with the electrolyte, so the electrolyte in the middle, letting it pass through is very important. So if they only go to 3.8 volts, so not charging it to so many volts, he says it can make it last at this low temperature 1,000 years. So right there, it's even 100 year Century battery. So the million mile battery with the red one. Oh no, that's just a line to say where the million mile battery is. Probably at a normal working temperature. So if you're exposing to heat, you're obviously going to lose more thing over time. So this basically saying NMC, he can really get this NMC at low voltage to last forever. But obviously NMC has nickel, very expensive, so that's why I went LFP. Later is saying he'll go to sodium ion. He's like, well, this is good, but in the winter we need so much more batteries because there's no sunlight, etc. So we really need all these lithium batteries and all the sodium ion batteries. So yes, they're working towards these high energy density things. They're chipping away at it. There's money getting thrown at it. Eventually, we're just going to chip away. Even if the batteries don't get better, the batteries are good enough now. Manufacturing will get better. Streamline, more things will get cheaper. And it's just getting cheaper every year. And there's really going to be a tipping point probably coming up soon where we're going to go to, we're already going to electric vehicles, but it's going to speed up us going to electric vehicles, in my opinion. So, CATL announced the condensed battery, 5 watt-hours per kilogram. You'd believe CATL because they're making millions of dollars and they got millions of dollars to throw at research. So obviously people are coming in every day and getting paid to do stuff. So they're getting paid and they say, what did you figure out today? They're getting paid to figure it out. So they're going to chip away at it and get it done. But regardless, we've got batteries now that work just fine. We've got these super fast cars now. It's just getting better and better and cheaper and cheaper. CATL is also bringing out sodium ion. So sodium ion, if you watch The Limiting Factor, very knowledgeable. He goes into actual real figures on sodium ion. So yeah, if we go back to here, the watt hours per kilo, 160 compared to LFP. You can add stuff to LFP, get it higher as well, more manganese, and NMC with a nickel, which is expensive, higher again. Cycle life, all pretty good. This one says NMC, cycle life, not that great, but obviously that's because of the highest voltage. If you look at the test from Jeff Dahn, he has differing things with this. Temperature thing. So sodium ion is actually, from what I've read, a lot better at lower temperatures, which is good because if you research cars driving in low temperatures, they lose a lot of range. So that could be when sodium ion comes in. Sodium ion, a lot more abundant than lithium. So in the future, it's going to be good. Although it's more expensive now. They need to ramp up the factories to make this stuff, which doesn't happen overnight. It's going to be expensive to start off with. And then later into the decade, it's going to get cheaper. If the energy density gets there, it's going to get better. Limiting factor believes, I think we'll go back to the slide here. So basically, these won't use it. No, these might use it. These won't use it. This use LFP. Because the energy density, yes, is 160. But what is the volumetric energy density is what I've passed. 260 to 320. Where LFP, you've got much higher volumetric energy density. So it's not just the kilos, it's the space that it takes up, which is another reason why it's less likely to be in cars, although they are making cars with LFP, though they'll be lower range. And myself, I haven't experienced driving a low range car and saying, oh damn, I should have a high range car. But maybe someone has. Need to see it to believe it. You don't know until you know. So volumetric energy density. Given amount of energy density in a given volume. So you can only fit so much LFP into that space, sodium ion into that space. So even if it's comparable on watt-hours per kilo, the space won't allow you to fit in that space, if that makes sense. Anyway, unedited video. Just be on the lookout. Sodium ion is coming. So invested in such things as lithium. We're still going to need a lot of lithium. Natural graphite doesn't go in the sodium ion battery. So you just got to keep up to date. Every day there's these little these little clickbaits coming out. I guess you got to click on them to see. QuantumScape, last time I looked at the QuantumScape, even when they come out, Tesla's going to have a better battery than them anyway. Probably much cheaper because Tesla's been manufacturing for years. Same as CATL. CATL is that condensed battery, which is semi-solid state. Condensed meaning it's more towards... If you look up the meaning for condensed, it's more towards solid than liquid. So it's called a semi-solid state. So I'll leave that video at this. Stay tuned. Still highly positive on natural graphite, as I think LFP will be a big role in the next 5 to 10 years. And yeah, anyway, interest rates going up now. Another interest rate in Australia going up. People have less money to spend on shares. But yeah, that changes. 3 years may drop the interest rate. People have more money. Who knows? But CATL might get the cost of these batteries so far down, and that means more demand. Tesla gets its cars down. More demand for natural graphite as it's going to the LFP battery, which is the battery of choice right now. And if you watch these videos, you can come up with your own opinion of how long LFP will be the battery of choice before sodium ion might take over. So yeah, and why is this guy teaching this thing? If he's making so much money, why is this guy teaching it? So if you like the scammer videos, let me know if you want me to do some scam videos, because I really hate people just saying some stupid stuff on here about how you can make money, live overseas. Like, what are they actually doing? Buying and selling your product. Maybe they had some success, and now they want to like say, oh, pay me some money and I'll show you how I did it. Here we go. Sodium ion battery. Anyway, watch the limiting factor. Sorry this crappy video of me blabbering on. Maybe got something out of it. And like and subscribe for more videos and maybe ASX stock picks that I think might go well due to the demand for lithium ion batteries and sodium ion batteries. And if you know any sodium ion battery stocks on the ASX, let me know. I know there's a couple out there. And that's it for this video.